Welcome everyone to the AgTech Pitch Lounge. I'm Jamal Machi, your host. The event is being live streamed to YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. Proudly co-produced this event with Sasha Dutta of Foodpreneurs Collective and Food Hack Dubai, Miraj Ahmed of Miraj AI, and our strategic partner, Elena Suchi. The AgTech Pitch Lounge is a chance for you to get pitch ready by presenting, but also get lots of exposure and connection with investors. As I said, the event's recorded and live streamed, and we're also now pasting some FAQs shortly into the chat on how different event formats we run work. So just introducing the co-host and moderator for today. This is Tia Isabella Otto. She's the founder of Women in CEA, also a contributor to AgTech Media Group, and a market research, strategic planning, and business development strategist. She's also an agri-food consultant. She's a recognized leader in sustainable agriculture and controlled environment farming, or CEA is controlled environment agriculture, the founder of Women in Controlled Environment Agriculture, CEA, and she contributes towards industry publications like the Indoor Farmer and iGrow News. Also happens to be one of our media partners here at the AgTech Pitch Lounge. So thank you, Sepa Arkad, for joining us and supporting the work we're doing here. She's also passionate about advancing agri-tech and food tech with a focus on innovative solutions such as advanced aquaponics and vertical farming to promote eco-friendly, self-sufficient farms. Tia is also known for her strategic networking and thought leadership, amplifying female voices in agri-food innovation and driving collaboration across the global agriculture sector. We're now pasting her profile in the chat for you to connect with her on LinkedIn. And now it was a great pleasure to hand over to Tia to moderate the rest of the event. You will actually hear from me again briefly in the middle, where I'll speak about the Food Security Summit that we're co-producing in Dubai, 17th, 18th of September, and our role in the startup ceremony, which is the awards and pitch lounge component of that summit. Tia, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jamal. It's a pleasure doing this with you, and I've been following, as you know, the Pitch Lounge for quite a while, and it's always great to be involved. Um, a little bit about Jamal. He was previously the director of the Startup Club, which is much like the Startup Grind, and actually is located in Berlin, just like myself, but we happen to meet each other in various other places of the world during those events hosted by Pitch Lounge. Um, he's also a Newton alumni, just like myself. It's a great venture capital course in London Business School. And last year, he has been chosen alongside a stellar group of people as a global food tech shaper. He has coached and hosted over 500 startups, which also explains why he's putting so much work into the Pitch Lounge and developing now this AgTech part of it. You might know already the beverage focused Pitch Lounge and others, the food tech one. And he's also open to fractional part-time support in like events, marketing, and partnerships. His profile is also coming into the chat right now, but I feel like we're already connected to Jamal. Just a little bit about the format and the schedule today. So I'll be introducing our startup founders as well as our panelists. And maybe also a few housekeeping rules before we get started. So please keep yourself on mute unless it's your turn to speak. We prefer to have your video on. Obviously, it's nice to see a full room, but we also understand that some people might be tuning in from, train or various other places. And we're here to support and encourage. So please be mindful of what you write in the chat and be constructive if you have any feedback. So moving on to our, yes, thank you, our running order. So we're having quite a full program today, as we're having one concept pitch and then six startups pitching today. So the first startup pitch, sorry, the concept pitch is yes, thank you, by Ethan Rieger, and the company is called Tree Hugger. Moving on, we're having the next startup, which is founded by Madini Z, and it's called Greeny Solutions. Moving on to Peter Hagedus, and who will be pitching Meta Green Deep Tech, followed by uh, Gilad Yarkoni with Platypus, and then moving on to the next three, which will be Alton Turrell um, on Beaver Nexus pitch. Um, Sorry about the slides there. Are we good? Yes, thank you. So Alton will be t pitching Beaver Nexus. We have Yakubu Baba Yaro with Bunkaza. And last but not least, Simon Humphreys from New Wave Biotech. And quite excited about today's pitches as we're having, I think, no nationality twice in the room. So it's a super international startup mix and founder mix. Moving on to the panel, I would like to introduce Alexandra Kivik, who is a startup support project manager at EIT Food, who some of you might be knowing, and she's former program manager at ProVeg Incubator and innovator for a better future. She serves as program manager um, at ProVeg, which is the world's leading accelerator for plant-based fermentation and cultivation of food startups, helping drive innovation and sustainable food systems. Um, and we will also posting her profile into the chat now. Next up in the panel is, thank you, Dr. Balaji. Excuse my pronunciation if I'm doing it wrong, Vasudevan. He's director of programs and advisor and mentor at Big Idea Ventures, California Life Sciences, Space F, Climate First, Woman in Food and Agriculture, and agri-food scientist and venture partner at 16 VC. He leverages his expertise to guide agri-food tech startups in scaling innovations for food sustainability and addressing global challenges in agriculture and food production. He's an accomplished agri-food scientist and has pioneered research crop transformation, RNAi-based crop protection, and plant molecular biology, contributing to advancements in sustainable agriculture and biotechnology, which I believe is also very relevant today, as you'll see with the startups. And with his extensive experience in the food tech startup ecosystem, he has supported ventures as a venture scout, technical judge, and advisory board member, playing a key role in identifying impactful solutions and fostering innovation globally. Thanks so much for joining us today. Then we have Barry Pulte. He is, thank you, chairman at EQ Capital Partners and Impact Rooms, global impact investor in food and AgTech, health tech, and circular economy, as well as AI funding director and chairman of Audit and Risk Committee, the GPN Vaccines, and also chairman and co-founder of New Wave Biotech, who's joining us today as well. Barry serves as a global impact investor, leveraging his deep networks and leadership at EQ Capital Partners and Impact Rooms and to fund sustainable innovations across food and agri-tech, including biotech and circular economy. A strategic advisor to Must Grow Biologics, which is a company. He champions the commercialization of mustard-derived biological crop protected products helping transition from synthetic pesticides towards a safer organic biofertility and biocontrol solutions. He's very instrumental in scaling Musgrove's impact from elevating its technologies. I will also paste his profile into the chat. Next up on the panel, we have Emmanuel Murray. He's investment director and role management expert, as well as angel investor and AgTech expert. He serves as an investment director at Caspian Impact Investments, where he leads market developments and institution building across food and agriculture sectors, supporting early and growth stage AgTech ventures. So again, very relevant to our startups today. With over 40 years of experience in agriculture, rural credit, and microfinance, including senior roles at NABRD and Manavia, he brings deep-rooted expertise in rural financial systems to his AgTech investment work. Further, he actively mentors AgTech startups, so it might be also useful for some of the founders joining today, serving as a juror in AgriTech hackathons and advisor at an incubator, while also guiding investments in agri-focused companies. His profile will be also in the chat, of course. Next up, we have a big panel today. Is Rob Ward. Good to see you, Rob. He's ag tech industry expert, mentor advisor, as well as investor relations and funding partner. With his UK-based specialist consultancy, he's offering tailored technical due diligence, market analysis, and support for early stage life sciences and deep tech ventures, including AgTech startups. As former CEO of Agricos Robotics, he led the development of autonomous mushroom harvesting robots, addressing labor shortages and boosting productivity in agriculture production. With over a decade in experience and recognition as a Newfield food and farming scholar, he brings global sustainability-focused lens to the agri-food tech innovation, transforming supply chains for automation and strategic leadership. And last but not least, we have in the room Shirley Shahar. She's founder and GP of Desert Tech Ventures, which was formerly Dana Ventures or Dana Venture Builder. And she's recognized as a key architect of the global desert technology ecosystem with a strong focus on positioning the MENA region. Her passion lies in innovation, entrepreneurship, impact, and investment, with expertise in spanning climate, food, agriculture, and sustainability across both corporates and startups. As the general manager of Desert Ventures in Abu Dhabi, Shirley supports startups focused on arid climates and collaborates with global and regional ecosystem leaders to implement cutting-edge desert technologies and solutions. Of course, her profile will be also posted in our chat. Welcome, everybody. I am just quickly going to recap who's going to be presenting today. So that's Ethan with Tree Hugger. Then we have Madini with Greeny Solutions. We have Peter with Meta Green Deep Tech. We have Gilad with Platypus, Altan with Beaver Nexus, Muhammad with Bonkaza, and Simon with New Wave Biotech. So I hope everything was clear so far. And I would just like to invite you guys to share the pitch lounge and let us know if you know any other startups that would be interested in pitching as well in further events, etc. And I'm going to hand it over to Jamal for now. Jamal?
Hi, I'm here. I think we are actually going straight into the first concept pitch,
Yeah?
please. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
We're
wasn't sure if
doing
you wanted to.
Food Screwy Summit. We'll
Okay,
do in the as like the halfway interval. Yeah,
perfect.
go
Okay,
for it.
well then, Ethan, if you could share your screen, please.
Yes, 1 second. Okay, can everybody hear and see?
Yes,
Okay, so should I start?
please.
Okay. So hello everybody, and thank you Jamal for inviting me for this pitch event. Yeah, so I'm a big admirer of the Roman civilization, not because of their impressive architecture.
We just lost his sound, right?
I wasn't sure if it was me or if
Yep.
it was on. Okay.
We just lost him. I think he's dropped off the call completely. Let's just check. No, he's on the call. Aiton, we've lost your volume. I don't know why. We've lost your sound.
Yeah,
Can you share your screen again, please? I'm not sure what happened.
can you hear me? Can you
We
see?
can now,
Yes, we
but some reason you muted yourself or someone muted you. Can you now share your screen again and start again,
Yeah,
please?
the app really restarted suddenly. Anyway, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can. Please
Okay.
go
yes,
again.
we
Start
can.
again. Yeah,
Please
please.
continue.
Yeah. Okay. So the Romans, as I said, were the first ones in Western civilizations that created cities wherever they wanted. They basically used technology, and they were not dependent on the nature as previous humans. And this takes me to the symptoms. So we have a climate change. It doesn't matter if it's going to increase or decrease. It's irrelevant. But we have to adapt. And if Romans had the technology we have today, they would probably go even further. And this is what I'm trying to say, that we, instead of trying to complain or cry, we just have to use what we have to adapt. This is what humans have been doing since ever. And the problem is that, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, the rain foliage is not as dispersed as it used to be. There are times with a lot of rain and a lot of time with no rains. And unfortunately, there are a lot of trees, especially not just, but in parks, for example, big cities have big parks, and the trees cannot handle this situation. It's very hard for them. And this is a very common thing that started to appear a few years ago in Europe. It's an attempt to help trees to handle times when there's no rain, but it's very problematic. First of all, it uses a lot of plastic. It requires a lot of manual labor, and it's a nice attempt, but this is not a solution. What I'm offering is a slow autonomous vehicle that could be used in parks to water trees that requires this. It is slow, it is safe, and it is adaptable. So it could be optimized for using in different parks, and it's flexible. So if specific trees need more water, it will only water them. And it's a very flexible system, could be a very flexible system. Its advantages of what we have until now is that we all know city parks are sometimes run by companies or city workers, and we want to integrate. This system could be integrated within the existing infrastructure, so we're not getting rid of workers. We do not require infrastructure and no damage to parks, no requirement of irrigation systems that could destroy parks. And based on what we have today, the existing solutions, it should be a pretty agile R&D process. So reaching a state of a working prototype shouldn't take too long. and should be too expensive. This is how this thing could work. A truck ranger with a truck, a park ranger with a truck could bring a vehicle to a park. The vehicle could automatically either charge itself or fill itself with water, or if those things don't exist in a specific park, water could be brought to the vehicle by a truck, by a park ranger, and vehicles could be used in more than one park. So we can create a truly optimized system that will ask the robots to operate in different parks, and also depending on the rainfall. So less rainfall, we need more operation, more rainfall, the system can rest.
Time.
Sorry? Yeah, so about myself, I'm an industrial designer, software engineer. I created all sorts of, I have experience with the creation of different types of multimedia, art installation, autonomous vehicles, and all sorts of digital and mechanical products. What I'm looking for someone who would like to join on this project, who has the passion to breaking rules technology, not meaning looking for a solution and not applying, looking for how to make things happen, and not just do things as we're used to. One who would like to promote social change. What's that music?
It's the Hunger Games music, I think. But it's, yeah, that's the end of your 5 minutes. So just wrap up quickly if you can, please.
Yeah, so basically someone who is really passionate into giving positive change, bringing positive change through research. Thank you.
Thank you so much. If we start with the first round of feedback, then I would just go and point out and just start with Alexandra. Do you have any feedback to his idea and proposal, or maybe input?
Yeah, hi, Aitan. Thank you so much for the presentation. Definitely a very important problem you're tackling. With the short presentation, I didn't fully get the technology behind it and the needs so the whole R&D roadmap. I gather you're quite early stage, but I'd just like to, if you can quickly maybe explain what are the next steps in R&D, what is the timeline, and how expensive is this machine that you are prototyping at the moment?
At this stage, I cannot give you any numbers. This is, as I said, it's a prototype pitch. It's something that it's an idea I started to develop. I don't have too much information yet. Time-wise, I believe that a few months are required for a first prototype.
All right. Thank you. And the technology itself, like how does it, I didn't fully get, does it sense when there are areas in the park that need water, or what is the competitive advantage against other machines that would deliver water in parks, if that makes sense?
So right now, I've seen, at least here in Germany, where actually park rangers come with a big truck and they water the trees because you don't have irrigation everywhere. The alternative is to build huge infrastructures of irrigation that cost a lot of money and, of course, cause a lot of damage to the park while it's being implemented. And this device is something that doesn't cause any damage, and it's can be used in different parks. So it's not something that you have to bring and build to each park.
All right. Thanks, Aitan.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Alexandra. And I would just point out to the next panelist, Balaji, do you have any questions or input
Thank you.
And also, Ethan, would it be possible to turn on your camera?
My camera is not working for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay, never
Sorry.
mind.
Okay, thank
Thank
you, Tia, and thank you, Ethan, for your presentation. I have a lot of questions, but due to the time limit, I'll ask probably a couple right now. So, so who do you think is your main competitor, and how your solution is totally different? And what is the uniqueness about your solution compared to other competitors out there? And why should somebody care about your solution and listen to you?
So I personally did not see the exact same thing. There are a lot of solutions coming up, like autonomous lawnmowers in different scales, especially for golf courses. But I'm talking about the irrigation of trees that require more water when there's no when there's no rain. Sorry.
Okay, so I understand that part. So what is that your uniqueness about your solution, and what is that key differentiator that differentiates you and your solution technology from other competitors out there? Why you?
So what makes me unique is that I could use existing solution. We live in a world of solutions, today. There is absolutely no reason to develop things which are not necessary. So creating such a product, at least for an early prototype, using off-the-shelf solution means that it's possible to create such a thing at a very low cost.
What
And
is that low cost?
hmm?
What would be the cost of your product what is that you're thinking that what would be the cost there when it comes to the market, and it would be at the same level as it is to a competitor, or it would be very, very fairly cheap?
I can't tell you this right now. I have to go through the numbers.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tia.
Thank you very much for your questions, Balaji. They were very valuable. I had some of them my own. I'd like to hand over to Barry on the Q&A session in terms of questions and input to Ethan.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Taya. Thanks, Eitan. Appreciate your presentation. So rather than questions, I thought I'd just make some observations and maybe some advice around what might help your next stage. So I think it builds off what other people have been saying. I think it would help a lot to understand your technology differentiation versus what's out there in the market at the moment. Understanding what you said about solution componentry that you can actually bring together. So that, I think that's a good approach. Also be good, to try and understand if there is anything unique, patented in that technology process. And then the other suggestion I'd make is at an early stage, and other people have highlighted it, do try and get an understanding of your economics, right? Just your techno-economics, as I call it. It sounds like you're from a TRL level. If you've heard of TRL before, technology readiness level, you'd be quite early in the piece, but I think it would be helpful to you to actually start trying to work out your economics and your business model. So I hope those inputs help a bit.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Barry. And I think that's also why it's more of a concept pitch, but still always good, Ethan, to get out there and pitch your idea and take in that feedback. We are coming to the last two panelists. Emmanuel, do you have any, or Rob, you want to go first? Since I see your hand is up. You should be able to speak now.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, very brave opportunity you're creating here, and admire that. There is obviously key things that operationally need to be dealt with, which I've seen go wrong in the past. It's underestimating the need for how much data the robot needs to process and having the capacity to do that. So the support system that the robot refers back to the kennel or in mowers, but in this case, it's a station, as you called it. That is really quite complicated to build. The recharging mechanism, if it's autonomous, the refilling of water, all of these relatively simple exercises actually are really difficult to do autonomously. And then you add in, they need power, they need their own source of power, and they need enough of them to be near enough to where the robot is for it to be efficient between when it's empty, either of water or power, to get back to the station to recharge. So there's quite a few practical issues that I think would be really important to consider deeply before advancing on this. The last point, I think it's similar to others, is where is where is the IP? Where's the investable opportunity? Where is the the IP that makes this become different? Clearly that's something you're working on, but it's not immediately obvious at the moment. Sorry.
Thank you for your input,
Thank
Rob,
you.
and thank you to all the panelists. I saw Emmanuel, he doesn't have any further questions. I think we also went through a lot of um, input and open questions there could be. I hope you took something away today, Ethan, and definitely something to work on. Obviously, if somebody else is looking to partner up with Ethan here on this call, feel free to reach out to him or text him on the chat. And without further ado, I'd be handing over to Madini for the next pitch, Greeny Solutions. Please share your screen.
Hey, do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So, everyone seeing my presentation?
Perfect. Your time is going.
Okay, hello everyone. So, my name is Ziad, and I am the co-founder of Green Solutions, and I am here today to talk about the future of farming, indoor, smart, and super sustainable. It's big, it's bold, and it's gonna change everything. Indoor farming, it's booming, and the market is valued at $48 billion, and it's growing so fast, 30% every single year. That's huge. Last year alone, we've been able to produce more than 4 million tons of food through indoor farming. And guess what? The best part, it uses 90% less water, grows food 9 times faster, no pesticide, no transportation needed, no gas emission, no pollution. It's clean, it's efficient, it's the future, and it's happening now. But here's the deal. Right now, indoor farming, it's way too complicated. And farmers spend hours, I'm talking about 8 hours a day, checking numbers, writing things down, punching data in spreadsheets. It's a mess. It's old school and it's too expensive. Disease, energy bills, and human error. It's getting the business. That's where we come in. Greeny Solutions, a game changer. We've built a smart box, super sleek, super smart. You plug it in, and boom, it works. Sensors, cameras, AI, it's all there. It just works. And we've already tested it with more than 6 early adopters, and the results are amazing. And now, farmers can see everything live. They can control everything anywhere, anytime, and they can analyze fast. And the best part, they can predict and stop problems before they even happen. It's like having a genius farming assistant on your phone. Now, listen, this is important. Our model is simple. We sell the box for 1,499. That's it. Then 399 a year for the software, autopilot, copilot, all the smart stuff. It's affordable, it's powerful, and it's worth every penny. And now we are targeting farms that are growing 500 to 5,000 square meters. We're in cities, we're in schools, and we are going big in Southern Europe, North Africa, and the MENA region. And guess what? People love it. Orange loved it. The South University Mediterranean loves it. Even HEC Paris picked us. And that's amazing. And we have made fast progress, and we have been able to do a lot of partnership with a lot of different institutions. And here's some of our achievements. This last year, we've been a winner of Vivatech this year. Also, we've been a winner of Tunisian IoT Challenge. And here you can see some of our achievement in this last year. And we've got a killer team, real experts, AI, software, agriculture, business. We're passionate, we're smart, and we're getting it done fast. And we are raising 250K. That's all we need to grow faster, build better, and win bigger. If you want to be part of the future, now is the time. It's smart, it's sustainable, it's greeny. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Sid. If you want to minimize your screen now, and we'll go over to the Q&A. I'd love to hear Shirley first this time.
So thank
Your
you, Zaid,
thoughts.
thank you. Thank you, Zaid, for your presentation. It was very passionate and very clear. And definitely you've recognized a very big issue with farmers. They are very good with agriculture and sometimes not very good with all the administrative and all the wrapping up of technologies. So I think there is something important that you tackle. The challenge is there. Important for me to understand whether or not you have done some kind of a feasibility test on your clients with
Yes.
Just a second, with the pricing and also with the market that you're tackling. And then I'll get you some two good advice, I think. So go answer.
Thank you so much, Mr. And thank you for your time. Thank you for your question. So we've already built our MVP, and we've already tested with more than 6 farmers, and the results are amazing, and they are so happy with our product. And we've been able. All the 6 farmers are in Tunisia, which is my home country. And now, in me myself, I live in Paris. I live in France. So this year, we've been able to have contact with some great farmers in France, and we will be able to make some partnership and give them the product to test this in upcoming months. So now, in the moment, we are present in 6 farmers in Tunisia and just 1 farm in France. We will be able to make our product test with them in the next month.
Congratulations on that. I would like to deep dive with you on the numbers later on. Maybe it's not the right format, but 2 things that I have for you. First of all, we have the Global Vertical Farming show in Dubai coming up on 7th and 8th of September. So in case you want to join, I can invite you. We will be there, and I can even try to represent you there and see how market is looking at your product.
Thank you so much.
First read, and second one, we are working, our client startup is 80 acres. At the moment, 80 acres are the biggest leader vertical farm in the world globally and based in the US. Let's talk later on and see if we can pilot your service there. They are very sophisticated. So for me, the question is whether you have any kind of solution to the more sophisticated vertical farms in the market.
Yes, of course. We can adapt, and like I said, our system is modular and it's personable, so we can adapt to any type of farm, and we will face the challenge, and we can make them feel so happy and feel so satisfied with our service or our product.
Let's see how we can.
Thanks so much, Shirley.
Let's connect on LinkedIn. And
thank you. Good luck.
Thank you so much, Shirley.
Thanks, Shirley. And I think he'd probably appreciate the opportunity to work with 80 acres. That's a great offer. I wouldn't let that slide. I'm also curious to hear more from Rob, as I know that you have been involved in indoor farming in the past, so I'm sure you have some very targeted questions. Are you there, Rob?
Yeah, hi. Thank you. Sorry that my mute would go off for a second then. Very exciting what you're doing there.
Thank you so much, Rob.
Just to hear, I mean, I've worked in this industry all my life. I'm just a little bit confused about whether this is all controlled environmental agriculture, CEA, or is this vertical farming? But before you answer that, I think I'd be interested to know if you're going to target a particular sector first and a particular scale of business in that sector. My first impressions here is that this could work really well for more of the smaller scale to medium size. The bigger operators, I'm pretty certain, would be one, very hard to sell to, but two, will have solutions. Whether they're as good as yours is another question. But the smaller guys, maybe your easier win first. So interested in sector and type of customer.
Thank you very much. So, Rob, the question is the first part of the question is what are our target right in the moment, and the second part of the question is how can you please, Rob, repeat for me the second part of the question?
Yeah. So what all I'm asking is when you said indoor farming, I mean that's a catch-all for all controlled environmental agriculture. Are you actually talking about vertical farming? And this could be terminology, but if it's all agriculture, that's some controlled environmental indoor, then that's a very, and I think some of your stats were quoting the entire industry, which would include the whole controlled environment agriculture. So I'm
Yes.
asking then, what sector are you attacking or planning to attack first? And is there a type of customer within that sector that you think will get the best traction?
Yes. So our system, like I said, is for environment, is controlled environment in general, which is vertical, hydroponics, aeroponics, which we have, whenever we have in control environment, we can install our box, and it can be so efficient in all type of control environment. But now, in the moment, we are only focusing on hydroponic farms, not vertical farms in the moment. But now we are only focused in hydroponic farms like NFT, and our system now we've tested it with only hydroponics farm, and it sorry, and it's so sorry, and it's so efficient in now in the moment in the hydroponic farms NFT culture.
Okay.
But in the future, we are aiming to be in all kind of indoor, which can be greenhouses, which can be hydroponic, vertical farming, aeroponic, aquaponic. It's modular, and it can be.
One tip to accelerate your growth would be to find somebody in your supply chain that benefits from your system that is part of their existing system. So I call that a minimum viable ecosystem as opposed to a minimum viable product. So what is the minimum viable ecosystem you can build around your product, i.e. aligned suppliers that are already there that their business model will benefit by your business. And if that, I wrote a whole article about this. It's a really important area for traction. So
Yes.
find the least you need to do to convince the supply chain around you that will support the success of your product. Quite often, when people launch a new product, they actually create price inversion for existing suppliers, and that is where a lot of tech businesses fail to get adoption, because essentially the industry that's there doesn't want it because it takes money off them. So
Yes.
find the right partners to work for that actually benefit from your system, and they will be your mouthpiece
First
for
client.
accelerating your growth. Good luck.
Thank you so much, Rob. Thank you. Thank you so much for the recommendations.
Thank you, Rob. That was great feedback. I'd like to ask Balaji again for a short Q&A round, and then if any of the other panelists has a particular feedback or question, please raise your hand so that we can stay within the time limit.
Thank you, Tia, and thank you, Ziad, for your presentation and time. So I have a couple of questions. One is that what customer pain points are so urgent that they are ready to switch to your solution?
First of all, thank you so much, Balaji, for your time, and thank you for the question also. So the clients that are really facing the problem, so first of all, they should be in indoor farmers, and they need to track their data, and they have problem with disease. So these are the type of clients that, and these are the type of problems that our clients and our target, which is in agriculture and indoor agriculture, precisely. So they face a lot of problems like disease, water, and they want to track everything in their indoor farm. And us as Green Solution, we can deliver this through data visualization and everything we can provide from our solutions.
Okay, thank you. And I have one more question. So, how scalable is your technology, and what is so uniqueness about your technology, or a key differentiator from several existing solutions out there in this particular vertical? And why? And you know that vertical farming, it was a boom few years ago. Now you know what's going on in the vertical farming from an investor's perspective. Why should a VC or other investor stakeholder should be interested in solution? Because vertical farming by itself is not attracting capital these days.
Yes. Unlike most of the solution that focuses only on sensors or automations, Green Solution integrate plug-and-play hardware with an AI-driven platform. That's not only monitor and automates, but also predict crop helps and also resources need like water, energy, everything they need, the nutrient delivery on the plant, everything. And also, it's not just about data, it's about actionable intelligence. Greeny acts as a decision making assistant, making indoor farming accessible even to non expert agriculture. Everyone can have wherever you have an expertise or not, with our solution, you can be able, they can assist you through AI and copilot and autopilot stuff, and they can assist you on your making decision on your farm, wherever about disease, wherever about problem, wherever about any decision you can make, lighting, everything, Balaji.
Thanks, Jan. And one last question. Do you have a patent of your technology or any other form of protection? And then, how accurate is your data prediction using your technology? What is the accuracy and efficiency?
I can't give you the exact numbers now. I can give you the exact numbers, but I can assure you that it's highly accurate. Now we are testing it, like I said, with more than six early adopters, and we work with them to collect data on daily basis. We collect data on daily basis, and now we are on improvement and iteration every day. Every day we are iteration, and we are and we want to be 100% accurate. But right now in the moment, I can't give you the exact numbers, but because now we are at the stage that we are collecting data and making iterations, so we make our system plus develop it.
Thank you, Zia. Thank you, Tia.
Thank you for your questions, Balaji. And Zood, I think it's a good overview of what investors are going to ask you when you start pitching in front of them. And I would like to hand it over to Barry as last input or question.
I'll keep it very short, I promise. So thank you. Just one question and one thing that might assist. So it would be helpful to highlight a little bit more the data flows in your deck around how you're actually capturing the data and the actual uniqueness of your AI analytics on top of it. Because what I'm taking away is that it's not, it's just off-the-shelf IoT devices generating the data. It'd be useful to, have almost a data flow diagram and then emphasize the uniqueness of your AI analytics on top of that. And then just a suggestion, because competition is very important, I'll just put in the chat just the name of a US-based, wrong one. Name of a US-based company that I would recommend you go and have a detailed look at. Very advanced in what you're doing, raised a lot of money, and very high quality people. I know the founder, so if you needed to connect her after you looked at that, just reach out. Okay.
Thank you so much. What's the name, Barry?
I'll put it in the chat for everybody. Okay.
Thank you so much, Barry.
Thank you so much, Barry. And thank you to all the panelists for the valuable input. I hope you took something away from that. So, oh yeah, we heard of them, I think, in the industry, and I think they raised another 20 million this year.
Correct. Yeah.
So I'd like to hand it over to stay within the time frame to our next pitch, which is by Peter, and it's on MetaGreen Deep Tech. So please share your screen, and I will start the timer.
Oh, moment.
Yeah, no worries. I'll give you 20 seconds extra.
Thank you very much.
Yes, if you could enlarge it.
Can you see it? Hello?
Yes, we can see it, but could you enlarge again?
Yes. 1 second. Opala. Is okay?
It still looks the same, but it's fine. Otherwise, just go through it. Because I know you have a lot of slides, so.
I have a lot of slides and I have 3 monitors. Sorry, sometimes a little bit difficult, you know. But the most important is the message.
Good.
Okay, can you see it? Okay.
Yes, correct.
Thank you very much, dear Thea, and dear people. They introduced my excellent technologies, and I'm very happy. And it is a great pleasure to be here and speak with you and show you something what I've been doing. As well, MetaGreen Deep Tech, our focus is green earth, yeah. And the moral of the story is at the first, the idea is not, if the idea is not absurd, there will be no hope for it, right? From Albert Einstein. It means it was a crazy idea when we started with our startup and a few years ago, and we have developed something very crazy, a disruptive technology, which was focused on producing of food combined with digital platform, disruptive digital platform. Okay, what does it mean? We can serve with our idea to a market with $980 billion in 1 decade. We can also produce proteins and make reforestation. And the most important thing with our blend, I will show you next, we can produce hyperfood, the highest level of the food with the nutrition with highest bioavailability, and we are completely sustainable. What does it mean for the strategic positioning from us? Then we have technology, which is state of the art with sustainability. And also we are looking for the next technologies like metaverse and blockchain into the ecosystem we already have developed. It means we have very good impact for financial environment fronts. And it is also a unique opportunity for the investors. What does it mean for the investors? Our highlights, what we have developed is then the yield increase. If you produce food, yeah, healthy.
Your slides
Sorry, I think your slides are not moving. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Because we just, yes, there we could see the move. Yes.
Yes. Now, sorry.
Thank you so much.
I have something is not harmonized.
Okay.
But I can also provide these slides also to the people in this meeting. There's no problem. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You are more than welcome, because it's important, because we are like very crazy and disruptive. And moral of the story is the yield we can increase is between 20 to 120%. Okay. Even you increase the quality, taste, texture, and aroma. This is just crazy. The root system, when we use our blend, okay, it can be enlargement between 3 to 500%. What does it mean? If you have normal huge roots, then your growth is much faster, for example, at kiri and pavlovnia trees, and also at vegetables by 85%. We have normal survival rate around 95%, and we are using no chemicals, no pesticides, no herbicides, nothing with this chemical. And the return of investment is really rapid, because we have calculated, it depends in which area we go, the return of investment is between 3 to 5 years. And the crazy thing is profit margin can be up to 1000%, yeah, because it depends on the process and targeted area. So for the strategic positioning, we have we have a period of 10 years where we can focus, and our goal is very easy. It means 0.1 to 1% of the global market, yeah, and we can make global impact on over 2 billion people. And we are already negotiating with different governments, but for this we need also money and support. And our business model is very primitive, very easy. I have studied at MIT, Columbia, and other 6 universities on 3 continents. Is people, planet, proficiency plus sustainability. Yeah. And with this model, we can provide something which is revolutionary, and we have actually no direct competitors. It means that we are unique in our application, and also with our goals and vision for the people, for the humanity. We are using the newest technologies worldwide, and we have a huge market potential and growth. And we will not patent our technology because we would like to be absolutely unique and be not copyable. It means for the investor, we will be like Coca-Cola or Heinz, or like in good old Germany, Jägermeister, absolutely unique, and stay for the people and for the planet. Moral of the story is our business case is easy. We would like start with trees, reforestation, with rice and cannabis, for example, yeah, which bring us in short time a good turnover. We have developed Meta and BioGrow as a digital platform. We have 30 seconds more. And then on MIT and Columbia University, the digital platform, we got 4 times distinction for it. And our product for BioGrow food, we have tested also in Germany and Europe. And it is a combination of 6 minerals we can use for the growth. And moral of the story is then we have a platform, for example, here with 8 areas where can we go in. Like we have spoken today about vertical gardening, or normal healthy food, or smart farming, or precision farming. And yes, we are looking normal for the initial investment allocation and about 20 millions. But we can start also with less or more. It depends what is the issue of the investor. And the moral of the story is, this is a very interesting topic. I know I'm speaking too fast, and I went already over my time limit. But the most important thing is thank you very much for your valuable time. And this is not the opportunity you can make.
Thank you so much, Peter, for the run through your deck. We'll hand it over to the panelists now. And as you said, the deck is being sent to everybody on this call, so don't worry, people can look in detail later on if they're interested. I'd like to ask Emmanuel, do you have any questions?
No, thanks.
Okay, thank you so much. Then what about Barry?
Yeah, I think I'd like to go through the deck in a lot more detail and come back with questions to Peter. It was, a lot of dense information to sort of get through. So I'll do that and then come back with some questions.
Perfect, thank you. Then we'll start with Shirley. She's raised her hand. Thank you so much, Shirley.
Yeah, so thank you for your presentation. I am sure that you're super passionate about the product. Me personally, I would prefer to focus on the product if you don't have time in these kind of competitions or events. I think it's important that at least the solution that you bring would be clear to the partners and the panelists that sit here. I understand that you have a very strong idea, but really focus on the product itself would be very helpful. I'm happy to learn more, of course, in later stages.
Dear Shirley, the focus is very easy. We have digital platform and a product, okay? The BioGrow food, the blend of the minerals. And with this one, we can make tailor-made solution for your challenge. For example, producing vegetables, fruits, and so on and so on. And the platform is combined together with IoT. I know it is really complex because you develop this concept on the MIT and Columbia, and it is for me like a challenge because I'm a hardcore scientist, not a marketer. I absolutely agree with you. But moral of the story is we have developed an extreme modular symbiotic ecosystem, and the goal is produce always added value for human, for planets, and for profit. plus to be sustainable for the next generation. I tell you just one example. In Germany, we lost in few years, you can maybe agree with me, around 30% of the forest, yeah, because the Borkenkäfer, the small animal, okay? The model of the story is the German government started to make reforestation, which is excellent. But the problem is the traditional trees, they need 20 to 40 years to make a real forest, the traditional one, like from Goethe and Schiller times. Moral of the story is with Pavlovnias, for example, with accelerated growth, I can tell you in 7 to 10 years, you can have a forest. Why? Because of our acceleration rate and the root system. And then this is not just to make a reforestation, but also CO2 certification. And then when you use IoT, for example, I have here piercing for my daughter. When you do this one to the forest, I know it's very funny, to the tree and make it statistically representative, then you can monitor the trees. Are they stressed? Are they enough water? Are they growing good? Is the earth pH enough? Is the humidity good? You can control everything. And if a few people have spoken here about control conditions, you can do it with the drones, with our digital platform. And for biogrow food, when you give the blend of the minerals, which are absolutely unique worldwide, and your trees are growing 85 to 90% faster than normal trees, then it's absolutely no problem. And when you use it for the vegetables, for example, okay, it is a complete new dimension because you have normal. I tell you about 5 things about food, and I'm done. Okay, you have normal junk food, yeah, you can buy in the fast food restaurants. You have normal food you can buy in supermarkets. The third thing is you can buy bio food. Whoa, very good level. 2 times expensive, two times less amount. Very good. You have super food, yeah, like agoi or beers or other things, no? And then the highest class is hyperfood. What does it mean? Like Hippocrates said, let be your food your medicine. And this is our approach. Why? Because biogrow food, our blend platform and our blend, the mineral mixture, contains more than 60 elements of the periodic table. Maybe you remember from school, okay? Micro, macro, and nano elements, and they're absolutely bioavailable for you. This is just something which is excellent, yeah? I know this is not too much information at one time, but it works.
I understand that there is a lot of information and a lot that you want to share. For me, maybe the feedback that I want to share with you is try to bring your solution in a blurb of 3 sentences. And if you succeed to do that, I'm sure that we will understand better and you will have a better chance to, to promote and of course to get your missions completed.
Also, I can tell you in the 1 sentence.
Thank you, Shirley.
Okay, I'm done.
Just Peter, I think that's very valuable feedback. I think that's a lot of the times, like you said, you're coming from the science background and really doing the exercise of keeping it concise is it's a very hard one and it takes some time, but that's why we're doing these pitches and giving you the feedback.
Excellent.
Which is why I'd like to also move on to the next one so that we can actually hear a bit more from the panel.
1 sentence. I can answer the question of Shirley. Very good. We promote a greener earth and healthy people with improved nutrition. That's it. Okay, 1 sentence. This is on the end of the presentation. We promote greener earth, healthier people, and better nutrition. That's it.
And now to Barry.
Oh.
Yeah, so Peter, let me suggest how you might simplify your presentation. What I'd be saying is you have a very deep tech discovery platform, which is actually enabling you to connect the dots from components of ingredients all the way through to things that are healthy for humans. So you've got this discovery platform, and then you seem to have, and a question I have is, do you have a proprietary components, the periodic table, 6 ingredients effectively, and you've worked out a way to mix and match them to get fantastic solutions out the other end. So basically a discovery platform, and you may have unique products. I think that's the way I'd present it commercially. And then I'd love to deep dive, because what you're talking about is actually a very important part of my sort of investment lens, is trying to understand how you actually take data at the one end what goes into the production of ingredients and then comes out the other end with healthy, good for you and sustainable food. Right? So
Okay, I can show you.
I just leave it at that, Peter. I think it's, yeah, exactly. And so you get, I would show that. I would show that because that is very impressive.
I just show you these three. Okay, I don't need normal 1 or 2 minutes. This is one tree, which is treated with our product. Okay, and as I say, no? These are my hands. Okay, I'm 1.90 m, no? And I have normal big hands.
Peter, I think you need to do some active listening. The problem is you are talking, we are talking, we are listening, we are trying to understand what we are saying. Sorry, I'm not on video and I wasn't allowed to talk, but I understand you. I'm a passionate scientist as well. And I understand when you communicate science to business people, it gets a bit on the science side, super exciting. But unfortunately, I think everybody is super excited about what you have. All we are saying is, can you put it in a business-friendly way so that you are answering the, sorry, it's asking me to start my video. Yeah, sorry. My name is Serone, and I'm happy to take up with you, Peter, because I'm a really hardcore scientist. We would like to put your science into a business context and really communicate in that very simple pitch, which is, what is the pain you are trying to solve? How does it help me as a consumer when I buy your idea? And how do you make money from it, basically? That's all we want to know. And this, very long presentation is super exciting, very captivating for a scientist, but not for a business person, and maybe not for somebody from your knowledge domain. So I think take the feedback positively. It's not a criticism. It's something that you can take and build on, and you fly with it. Thank you.
Okay, then
I wasn't going to talk, but sorry to butt in.
If the audience has any other questions, also feel free to use the chat. That's always welcome.
Also, I can answer
the
question. Maybe this is normally your answer.
That's it now, but you're done.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
That's it. Okay, good. Understand. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Peter. And I think, Jamal as well, he's doing great, always giving great input on the pitch deck and how to revise that. And again, that's why we're having these feedback sessions, is to get you actually to the stage to pitch in front of the investors comfortably.
Definitely.
And that's why sometimes it's a bit of tough love in the pitch lounge.
Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and I hope you can see these two pictures or diagrams, the worst case and best case, and I'm really done. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and definitely you're right that we do need to find solutions for reforestation. However, I would like to hand over to the next
thank you very much
presenter.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter.
Peter.
To Gilad from Platypus, please.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you and we can see your presentation perfectly.
Great. So, hi, I'm Gilad Yarkoni, the CEO and co-founder of Platypus, and thank you for this opportunity. I'm really happy to be here. As a third-generation industrialist and material engineer, and after working for almost 20 years in my family's chemical factory, I know the struggle of developing a chemical product. 3 years ago, I started Platypus to change how pest control companies develop new products. Their pain is the time and cost to market. Updated studies showed it takes over 12 years and $300 million to develop a single product. It includes stages of R&D, regulation and registration, and the industry looking for new technologies and approaches to overcome this problem and reduce the time and cost. I'd like to quickly explain what a pesticide is for those of you who don't have a degree in chemistry. Every pest control solution is made of two parts. One is the active ingredient. The second one is the delivery system, the carrier. Today, each company develops a different delivery system for each product. So for example, a company with 100 products would have 100 different delivery systems. Our solution is the platform. The platform is a delivery gel for volatile bioactive compounds designed for effective pest control. This is a new approach to developing pest control solutions. And it's a game changer because it is the first ready-to-use delivery system on the market. It is an ecological platform for hundreds, if not thousands, of biologicals, such as plant extracts, pheromones, essential oils, and other volatile terpenes. And there is another significant innovation here. It's the slow release technology we've developed to extend the use time from weeks up to a year. This is the new approach and technology to cut the time and cost to market. As a B2B company, the platform will be sold as a raw material to the pest control manufacturers in North America and Europe. These manufacturers sell their solutions to agriculture, home and garden, and food supply chain markets. I want to share with you one case study that from a field trial we had. We had it with another company, and we lured fruit flies into traps with the pheromone inside our gel for over 200 days, when the control group, the commercial solution that is available today in the market, is only for 90 days. And in this field trial, we show that our solution can triple the use time and reduce the use of the use of active ingredients by 65%. Our solution also benefits the manufacturer with increased profitability by 20% and give them the advantage in the market. And also to the farmer, he could reduce the direct cost per treatment by 24% just in this specific solution. With me, Marina, our CBO and co-founder that joined me 2 years ago. She brings over 20 years of business development, marketing, and sales experience in the agrochemical industry. We have several companies in our pipeline right now, 6 of them in field trials. And in these challenging times for our industry, we are at TRL 6 while still being bootstrapped. We're backed by the Israel Innovation Authority and have a patent pending on our technology. We're expecting to start commercial sales in the next 2 years. We are looking for pre-seed investment, relevant connections to customers, and advisors to our advisory board. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I'd like to actually hand over to Rob right away based on the comment that you made earlier on how to enter the market, and wanted to know how you think about Gilad's approach. And obviously, if you have any other questions or remarks.
Yeah, it was a really nice presentation, very professionally done, very calm. It was a joy to listen to. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I'm not a chemical engineer, but I've worked in horticulture all my life and can see lots of opportunities here. I don't know enough about chemical engineering to know whether what you've got is a something different. So maybe you could help explain how you can pick what are the competition doing that you're doing differently. That would be helpful.
So today, basically, there is no one that doing something like we're doing. When a company develop a delivery system, what they're choosing to do is to use a variety of raw materials that will support their active material.
Yeah.
And in some cases, they'll get maybe a combination of 2 or 3 substances in one material. It's called co-formulant. But what we are doing, we're giving them the complete formulation, only without the active. So we're solving a big stage from this process of developing the final material, the final product. We're solving it to them, and so there's no one doing something like this as far as we know, and as far as we've investigated back in the years of doing like something like that.
Okay.
So we haven't found a direct competition. The competition, I would say, it's the companies themselves and the R&D department in those companies.
Well, there are lots of carriers for active ingredients and applying chemicals, as you just said. So there is competition, but it isn't necessarily how you do it. You know, cinema competition is Netflix. It's a different format, right? So there are companies I'm working with at the moment that might be interested in this. So we'll connect privately after that. So there might be a useful way to help you. Last question, what regulatory issues do you foresee and plan to overcome to help you grow?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
What regulatory issues? We're based in the EU, well, the UK, but it's still it conforms to EU regs, and pretty much all of the world is always gravitationally being pulled to EU regulations. So, what EU regulations affect what you're doing that you need to resolve? Are there any?
So, yeah. So when we just began our developing process, we chose to use in our material, in our gel, raw materials that already approved for agriculture, all bio-based. And so agriculture produced the raw materials for protecting agriculture in a circular way.
Yeah.
But from the regulatory point of view, we chose materials that are safe for agriculture.
Okay.
And would save a lot of time for our customer when they want to register their solution, their product. And usually the big part of the regulation of when registering a new product, it's about the active ingredient and not the inert part, which we are the inert. So their problem is still the active material more than what we are.
Yeah, my question is too about your technology, not the active ingredients. The question, was there any regulation? Are you saying there's none then?
So there is always there is something, but it depends on the market, because if it's in agriculture, in direct touch with the plant, with direct contact with the plant, it is one process. And if it's home and garden without direct contact with the plant, it's totally different. And even there's none in some cases. Depends on the use and the actives that are going to be used in it. So it really depends on specific solution.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I think the regulatory question is one that other panelists had as well. So thanks for clarifying that. Thank you for your input, Rob. I'd like to hand it over to Balaji. I think your input has been very, very great today as well. So I'm curious to hear what you have to say about
Sure, Tia. Thank you very much,
platypus.
Gilad, for your presentation. I think the presentation was good to me personally, because the way in which the slides and the deck was kind of oriented and structured. So I have a couple of questions for you today. I have more, but only just a couple to ask you right now. So your gel, which is a kind of a carrier or a delivery for your active ingredients. So is it biocompatible with live microbes? When you take the biological market, there's a chemical market for pest control, which is 90%, and 10% is biologicals in the global market. And biological is growing tremendously, and all the global multinationals are investing tremendously in biologicals, including likes of Syngenta, BASF, and Bayer, and other companies. If that is the case, and the live microbes, beneficial microbes like fungus, beneficial nematodes, and all the beneficial bacteria out there, and microbials are a key component of biologicals, in addition to plant extracts and volatile oils. So how does the beneficial part of the biologicals, is your gel compatible with that to mix any biological or any kind of other green technology like RNA? Because RNA biopesticide is key now, is getting momentum. So with the likes of Green Light Biosciences having a product in the market based on RNA for many different pest control. So is your gel compatible with live microbes or any microbial products coming out of the microbes, or even some of the molecules like RNA?
That's a good question, and I still don't know the answer, if being honest, because we haven't tried it. We haven't tested with microbes. It would be interesting to test it. And we have one partner that showed interest to test it with RNA. Basically, I can say that our gel works best with volatile compounds. It slow release it's actually slowing their movement inside the material until it reaches the surface, so the volatile compound can evaporate to the surrounding. So usually when I'm talking about biologicals, would be plant extracts and essential oils and specific volatile terpenes, which is hundreds, if not thousands, of active materials, and pheromones as well, at least most of them. And we're still learning and discovering what we can do with this gel and this delivery system. It's really fascinating to see.
Thank you. And the other question I have is that, so what is that so unique about your solution? There are several carriers. Rob, I think Rob asked already about this question. So what is so unique about your solution? Why should somebody care about your solution when there are hundreds and thousands of other solutions out there with respect to carriers or delivery mechanisms for either chemicals or even biological? There are several companies and several products out there, and why should somebody is interested should show an interest from a VC perspective? When I'm a VC looking at your company, why should I even care about your solution? What are the unique advantage that will bring to me as a VC, as an investor, and to the customers who are going to buy your end product at the end of the day?
Well, so from the customer point of view, we bring two main things. One is the approach to save a lot of time and cost, so they can reach the market faster. It saves stages in the R&D and the regulation. And today, young companies, a lot of startups, they are struggling to see revenue and reach to the market before the funds run out. So today I see it in a lot of companies, and I met with a pheromone startup and early stage, and now they want to take our platform and use it for all their products and to save 2 or 3 years in their time to market processes. So for them, it's a huge advantage. And also, it's not just the new approach that we save them time, it's the technology. Because today, if I'm going back to the same example with pheromones, usually the use time is up to 3 months, 90 days. Usually this is the time you can see in the market. And we're talking, okay, let's make it for a year or 6 months. And then they could have, these are numbers that you don't see often in the market with pheromones and other volatiles. So it makes them more efficient, and every company that will use our technology would have a benefit and advantage in the market. compared to their competitors.
Thank you. I have one last question. Does your gel is compatible with different types of applications? Say, for example, biologicals are applied in different ways, and also the carriers, for example, root application, seed treatment, foliar spray, and in different ways. Does your gel is compatible with different types of applications?
Right now, the gel is as it is today. It works as it likes to stay as a gel with a thick layer, like with consistency of toothpaste or peanut butter. So it likes to stay as a gel, good for dispensers and sachets and patches and a lot of applications that are available today in the market. And we're developing the new stage of spraying. And in the future, we also as aerosol and also as droplets, big droplets like splat, if you know the material. So these are two in development, and we want to achieve also in granular and other applications. So, but the idea that we can take this technology and duplicate it in other sectors as well, other applications as well, but it's still in development.
Thank you, dear. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Balaji, for your questions. And thank you, Gilad. I think you guys have a great team, and you're still early on, but we've seen a lot of similar developments also with gels and like substrate, etc., and horticulture applications. So I think it would be very interesting to figure out like what kind of partners are out there for you to trial more, trial faster, and then develop your USP. Before we start with the second block, with the last three startups, I'm just handing it over quickly to Jamal and his team for a quick short break, if you want to call it. Jamal?
Sorry, I'm muted. Apologies.
lose
Yes, you're
Oh,
going to have me now.
okay.
Yes, we're also going to have the Shubham. If you can turn your camera on, that would be if that's possible. I mean, yeah, thank you very much, Shubham. So I have a great pleasure to hand over to the program manager of the Food Security Summit X Dubai 2025 to just give an overview of the summit, and then I will also talk afterwards about Pitch Lounge and our involvement in what the excellent events he's working on. Please, Shubham.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jamal. So, Food Security Summit X, it's an event which is organized in partnership with Ministry of Agriculture, Jordan, Animal Wealth, and the dates of the event are 17th and 18th of September, and successfully having the leaders from the Abu Dhabi Food Safety and Authority, and also with the Arab Authority for Agriculture Investment and Development. We are hosting this event. So the next thing about our event is that this event is organized. It has a timeline that this time it is organized in Dubai, and we have the project. We have the vision of hosting this event each year in multiple locations across the globe, like Saudi Arabia, UK, India, US, and Dubai. So with that being said, covering the global markets step by step and hosting the event in each location so that the local companies becomes quite easy for them to join and all the global companies can come to that particular location to explore the markets in that particular country. Moving ahead, we have various type of things that can be explored in the summit with a specific objective. So this platform can be utilized uniting, food systems, agriculture industries, specifically focused on technology aspects and the recent developments. This conference provides the leadership and top experts to connect one-on-one and have meaningful conversation with them. The empowering sessions, which are focused on latest trends, technologies, challenges, solutions to it, enlighten the startups, the researchers, scientists. So it's all about the enlightenment in terms of these sessions. The exhibition It's purely focused on showcasing the technologies and the products and the services, the solutions that you have for the upcoming challenges in this industry across the globe. And of course, since having all of these things done, all the leaders who are joining, doing these things, gives this summit provides all of you to connect and network with all of them. And at last but not least, one of the key thing of the summit is the startup is ceremony hosted by Pitch Launch. So there are a couple of challenges that we have focused and we have shortlisted them, which is sustainability and climate change, water scarcity management, food security, soil degradation, labor shortage and workforce automation, pest and disease management, supply chain disruption, food waste, biodiversity, and finance and technology from small farm holders. As you can see, all of these challenges are diversified. Some of these challenges are very much uh, highlighted in the developed countries. Many of these challenges are looked into the developing countries, just like soil degradation, the regions like the South Asia and the lands which has huge area for the cultivation aspects. Hence, the overutilization of pesticides, harmful chemicals have degraded the soil. So various technologies, all of these things. Food waste in the Western countries, access to finance and technology in the developing countries, labor shortage in the Western countries. So it depends on the region to region. And that we have various ways to collaborate with us. Like you can attend the event, to network, to listen, to collaborate with the other speakers and the prominent global leaders. Speak to share your information and crucial knowledge on the main stage, and obviously off stage, you can do the networking and discuss the business aspects in the summit. Exhibition, showcasing your products and technology and services. Being as a sponsor, showcase yourself as the leader within this industry. In startup ceremony, to pitch in front of the investors and the VC firms and have the opportunity to gain the funding aspects as well. And then we have a couple of speakers with us like Sachadatta and Shirley Shahar, who are very much known, needs no explanation, very much renowned in terms of their knowledge, the ample amount of experience that they bring into the same industry. And the startup pitch ceremony launch. So for this, I would request Mr. Jamal to take over further and enlighten us with the other aspects of the startup pitch ceremony.
Thank you, Shubham. Yes, it's been wonderful working with you so far on this, and looking forward to what we create and who we bring together over the coming month or so, and over the upcoming 2-3 years also. Some of you in the audience will already know that Sasha and I were involved, and also our partner Mirage AI co-produced the Green Shoot Startup Pitch Competition and Startup Zone and stage programming last year at Gulf Food Green in September. So it's wonderful now to be doing another expo in Dubai at the same time. Gulf Food Green has been pushed to the end of January alongside the main Gulf Food. And so to have a chance to work on these themes of impact and food security and with the AgTech sector, again, 12 months on is fantastic. Actually, we've got Taya, who's moderating today. She came out for that. So did Rob. Both of them were judging that competition and involved in panels and workshops and networking with founders and investors in Dubai. So again, we'll be doing the same, and I'm hoping to get as many of you involved as possible. Next slide, please. Yeah, so the startup ceremony will have two aspects. So there'll be the award ceremony aspect, the awards aspect interspliced with startup pitches, investor pitches, as you've seen today. We'll have startups from a number of areas or subcategories of AgTech, impact and food security area, precision agriculture, drones for crop monitoring, food distribution platforms, aquaponic systems, automated greenhouse technologies, agribusiness marketplaces, and many, many, many more, already attracting a lot of startups involved so far. Next, please. And this is just a snapshot of, I think, about a third of half of the startups that have already signed up for exhibition packages on the expo, and they're all applying to pitch as well. So as well as being able to network with them and learn about their innovative AgTech solutions, you'll also be able to see them live on stage pitching to many of the investor panelists that you've you've been hearing during the Q&A today, including Shirley Shaha, who was already confirmed for the summit. Next, please. So there's 3 options to get involved in the pitch competition. If you want to, the conference is in 2 large sections. So there's an exhibition hall with attendees where there's a much lower price point, easy access. And there's a summit program, the conference program, and the investor networking, the startup ceremony, including the awards and the pitching and the workshops and the panels. All of that is part of the delegates program, and that's where the pitching sits. So if you want to go for a delegate ticket and a pitch ticket, this is the package. Next, please. Then we've got, if you're already an existing delegate, we have got delegates joining us today on the call. Then that's the kind of add-on. If you also want your delegate who's a founder who wants to pitch as part of the startup ceremony, that's the add-on. And next, please. And this is in case you're an exhibitor, particularly if you're an exhibitor who's got the kind of the early stage entry package, then there's a very small little add-on for them. There's a few different options for exhibiting on the event. Next, please. Cultivate exhibitor, growth exhibitor, innovator exhibitor. Many of these packages, if you see the second and the third, growth and innovator, include a pitch slot, but they also involve a lot of other things as well, like accommodation and many other things that the conference team have rolled in and organized for the exhibitors that are signing up. And we've already got exhibitors signing up for these packages already out of all the brands that I displayed to you previously. Next, please. Yeah, so that's it. Come and shape the future of food security. Exhibit, pitch, and network with us in Dubai this September 17th to 18th in Dubai, alongside Shubham, me, Shirley, Sasha, and hopefully Rob, Taya, and many more of you. And anyone involved in Pitch Lounge or wants to visit our website, there's a 10% off any of the packages or any of the entrants at pitchlounge.net/summit. Yeah, look forward to seeing you there. Thanks for listening. And now we'll go back. Thanks to Shubham for joining us. Thank you very much. Look forward to organizing more with you on this. And thanks for supporting also the marketing for today's event. Much appreciated.
Thanks a lot, Jamal. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Now back to Taya.
Thank you so much, guys. And I'd like to stay on time. So without further ado, I'd love to hand it over to Altan actually with Beaver Nexus. If you could kindly share your screen and start. Perfect. You can already see it. Start your pitch, please. Stage is yours.
Okay, can you hear me now? I'm Altan,
Perfect, yep.
CEO of Beaver Nexus, and we are proud to be here. Are you aware that the world generates 140 gigatons of woody biomass annually, which is hard to collect, expensive to transport, and leads to 20 gigatons carbon dioxide emission with improper disposals? There are 2 main approaches for this biomass. Small scale, low-tech systems create low-quality, uncertified products ineffectively and harm the environment. Centralized facilities are expensive to build and operate, consume too much energy, and create high emissions due to transportation. Hi, we are Team Beaver Nexus. We are filling this big market gap between primitive systems and centralized facilities with our cutting-edge technology, transportable wood reactor, that transforms woody biomass into high-value bioproducts for carbon farming. We not only have cutting-edge technology, but also have innovative business model. We will make every biomass holder a carbon farmer by leasing or selling our reactor according to their biomass holding capacity. Farmers and foresters can lease a reactor for only 300 euros per ton and make 800 from them. Cooperatives, universities, and municipalities can buy our reactor and see a return on their investment in about 1 year. We have already placed our offers for POC to potential buyers in Turkey. TBR is a unique and innovative technology that brings together useful properties of centralized pyrolysis plants and small-scale biotransfer systems. High technology, quality bioproducts, certified process, off-grid system, transportable and on-site process will meet all expectations of our customers. TBR can transform up to 1 ton of biomass daily into biochar, pyrolytic acid, and carbon credits that we sold 3 tons so far. TBR can valorize 1 ton of biomass up to 800 euros. That is almost 4 times of any other solution, including carbon credits, biomass waste management savings, and the market value of bioproducts for their economic benefits. We are focusing farmers in Netherlands as beachhead markets because of the strict waste management regulations and carbon credits need of markets. We aim to reach 3% of the farmers in 5 years. TVR will be a strong player in the market with its mobility, system price, low energy needs, quality, and diversity of bioproducts. Although capacity seems our weak muscle, the absence of small-scale biochar and carbon capture solutions in Europe presents a critical market gap. We made 8 SDGs as Beaver Nexus. Besides, 300,000 TVR can reduce 1% of European Union's annual carbon emissions. For every 1 ton of biomass, conventional waste management practices release up to 6 tons carbon dioxide equivalents into the atmosphere. Thanks to biochar's exceptional carbon holding capacity, our technology not only prevents these releases, but also achieves net negative carbon emissions. We validated our process with our MVP and analyzed the effect of bioproducts in lab conditions and fields. So far, we sold 3 tons of them. We have strong connections for market penetration with Dutch associations such as Plantum, Rotterdam Innovation Quarter, and Rome Utrecht. We founded in 2021. R&D took 4 years. In 2025, we registered in NL and built partnership there, and agreed for first pilot in Utrecht beginning of 2026. We aim to reach 600 reactor production capacity with our seed investment round. To fulfill this demand, we only need 3% penetration to market of 15,000 customers. Our profit per product is around 26,000 euros. That brings us to approximately 70 million euros profit in our 5th year. We are seeking 210,000 euros to exit our first sales. Our team brings deep domain expertise. Emre has over 15 years of mechanical engineering and pursuing a PhD focused on thermal decomposition systems. I leverage a strong network in Dutch horticulture through Plantum and FWC partnerships. Olcan is a PhD researcher specializing in waste management and biochar usage in agriculture. Our 3 key team members, Sinan, Ersin, Hakan, and Merve, brings more than 60 years of experience in software development, IoT technologies, automation, marketing, and economics. We will be present wherever biomass exists, even in space. Join us for democratizing the carbon capture. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Altan. Great presentation. I really liked the deck as well. I'd love to start with Alexandra on the Q&A round on the biochar, the decentralization of biochar.
Hi, Altan. Thank you so much for the presentation. It was very quick at the end, but and I was trying to wrap my head around everything. But yeah, I have a couple of questions. First of all, that it's about the cost of manufacturing the reactor and how scalable the production is. If you have some, I don't know, if you can give me some understanding of that. And then also I'm curious, I know little about pyrolysis and biochar solutions, but how defensible is your technology versus other solutions? How is it different? And then also, how do you address competition from centralized pyrolysis and biochar solutions, plants that might achieve economies of scale much easier? Yeah.
Okay, so let me start from the last. Our competitors are the large scales and also the primitive ones. Okay, we can win for the primitive ones with our technology, but for the big plants, the problem is that those big facilities need only one type of feedstock, so they have to be built in the near to the feedstock. For example, in Finland, you have to build the pyrolysis reactor next to the forest to get the forest residues. And you can only use those residues. You can't put the other residues inside the plant because it will change everything for the byproducts. But our capacity is just 1 ton per day. So you can transform your cocoa peat residues in Netherlands on this day. Tomorrow you can use for your orchard farming residues. Next day you can use for another woody biomass. It depends on you. So you can change the feedstock, and you can carry our reactor to the source of the biomass. You don't have to carry all the biomass from the source to the reactor, because when you do that, you will release carbon emission for logistics, and the benefit from the biochar and carbon credits isn't so profitably because of the logistic costs, because they are the bulk waste and they are low density wastes. So it's very hard and it's very pricey to transform from one place to another, those feedstocks, those biomass. So for the second questions, we are IP pending in Turkey. When we get our pre-seed fund, we will be ready for European Union and global IP. So it's IP, it's protectable, our IP. It's, as I said, it's IP pending in Turkey. And for, what was the first question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, the first one was about the cost of manufacturing one reactor and scalability.
Yeah. When we pass to mass production, it will be around 7,500 euros per product, just for manufacture. And we are approximately will spend 1.5 or 2,000 euros for selling it. Okay, so it will total be like 10,000 euros. We want to own a facility of production in Turkey and a montage place in Netherlands with our seed investment round. But before seed investment round, maybe it will take more than 1 year or maybe 2 years. We have contracted manufacturers in Turkey that we are currently working on, and we can manufacture more than 600 with our contraction here.
Was that sufficient, Alexander?
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Altan. Thanks so much for the elaborate answers. Thanks.
Thank you for your input and questions, Alexandra. I'd like to hand over to Rob, who has his hand raised.
Hi, Altan. Any financials? Well done again on a very professional presentation and a great team. That looks formidable. Do your financials include any carbon credit income from selling the carbon credits, or are carbon credits as a part of your business model?
Yeah, I got it. So maybe in our first months, we will do demonstrations, and we will own our own reactor, and we will act as a service for the biomass holders. In those days, we will, of course, have some carbon credits that we will sell. But later, our business model is that everybody will become a carbon farmer. So they will transform their biomass into biochar. They will use or sell their biochar and will get their carbon credits, and they will own the carbon credits money, not we.
Okay. Be very careful, is my advice and experience. The carbon credit market is very vulnerable at the moment. And there are some big question marks over the stability of that. So actually, I don't think you need it. I think you can have good carbon calculation practice, which is fundamental to all businesses anyway, and separate to the carbon credit market. And biochar, if you can apply your system successfully, is a superb way to improve the soil health. So just don't rely on carbon credits is something I'm advising, and it sounds like not for your business, but if your customers are, find a way that they aren't. If it does come in, great. It's the cherry on top of the cake, but it's not the cake. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, great.
Thanks for your advice.
Thank you for your input, Rob. I agree. Yeah, I think those carbon credits are often a nice enabler, but shouldn't be a sole factor for liability on the business case. Barry.
Yeah, thanks, Altan. Really enjoyed your presentation. Just two quick questions. One about the input. So what materials can actually be inputted into your bioreactor? And the second question linked to that is if it's a bit, the slides went through quite fast, but you've got biochar coming out, but were you also saying you've got synthetic chemicals coming out the other side as well? So if you can just give some descriptions about what is actually coming out the other side. So input, output would be very helpful.
Yeah, of course. So the feedstock should be lignocellulosic based in academic saying. It means woody biomass, like wood chips, the shells of nuts, or the branches, the pruning residues, or the agri residues. Now we are working for cocoa peat residues for greenhouses. So the residues that have cellulose inside. Okay, that's our feedstock.
Would that include food waste or not?
No, you can do, but you have to dry them first, because our reactor can't work with wet residues, wet wastes. You can, if you can dry them, you can work, but you won't have a very profitable byproducts because you need cellulose. Because our reactor is working with gasification method that gasifies the cellulose and lignin inside the feedstock. So then, what's for your second question? With those gasification thing, we capture the hydrocarbons from the feedstocks gas, and we transform it into hydrolignosed acid. It means they call it wood vinegar. And it's very, very powerful fungicide and also pesticide. I'm a 16 years old agribusiness expert in Turkey. I own a seedling company and greenhouses here. And I'm in contact with almost 5,000 farmers. And we do the field tests here. Maybe some of them know about some diseases like botrytis, alternaria, Chlobacteria michiganensis, Fusarium racidi. We solved all these problems in the field, not in the lab. We solved these problems in the field, and we are now selling our bioproducts here.
Yeah. So just one piece of advice or insight. So I've looked at similar technologies. Building out a return on investment model for people who buy your bioreactors, I think, would be very helpful. And there's, I'd also just get thinking about what your model is. Maybe you don't sell your bioreactor technology. Maybe you lease it. Maybe you build out a network. So there's different models out there that might actually be helpful for you.
Yeah, I think we will learn from the market than the end of the market. It will depend on the demand in the market. We will pivot our business model problem. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your input, Barry, and thank you for your presentation, Altan. To stay conscious of time, if any of the other panelists have any questions or comments, please reach out to Altan directly or put them in the chat. And thanks again for your presentation. I'd like to hand over to our next startup pitch by Mohammed and on the startup of Bunkasa in Kenya, if I'm not mistaken. If you could start sharing your screen now. We haven't lost you. Are you still there?
Yeah, he is there.
Yes. Okay, there we go. Perfect. And yes, we can see the presentation if you could enlarge it. Perfect. And unmute yourself, I would assume.
Yeah, Mohammed, is your sound working? It was doing the tech check, but can we hear you, please? Can you speak again? Can you speak? Because we cannot hear you. I told you earlier that they were looking like the market.
We cannot. Yes, now we can hear.
Yeah, now we can hear.
We can hear you. Could you enlarge again? Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Muhammad Yakubu, the CEO of Bunkasa AgriTech Limited. My father was the former chairman of the Maltov International Markets in the 90s, which was the largest vegetable market in West Africa. So I was privileged to be born and raised around that market, and I have seen how food move from the north to market across Nigeria. I also see how much food is wasted along the way. Today, I serve as the director of information technology in that market, in charge of movement of food in and out. So I also serve as the national consultant to the Tomato Growers, Processors, and Marketers Association of Nigeria. With these experiences, family root have given me a front row seat into understanding the Nigerian tomato crisis. We produce abundantly, but unfortunately end up losing more than 50% of our harvest. So let me quickly walk you through the problems. Nigeria is the Africa's largest tomato producers, yet 50 to 55% of harvest is lost to forest fire. And the other thing is that despite the fact that Nigeria is the largest tomato producer, but we are the largest tomato paste importer in the world, importing over 500 million worth of dollars annually. And this problem had to do with the farmers' lack of access to storage, processing, and also reliable market. At the moment, this is the solution Bunkasa is proposing, 1,000 kg per hour tomato processing line with 70-gram affordable sachet for the mass market in Nigeria. We also plan to integrate with the aggregation center for produce aggregation, cold chain, and also agro-logistics. Market opportunity for Nigeria consume over 900,000 metric tons of tomato paste per year, and over 70% of the imported paste, despite the local abundance we have, which was almost 50 to 55% went to waste, and the market size about $1 billion annually. And Kano, where we propose to establish the tomato processing, is the center of production and the largest producer of tomato in Nigeria. And it was also close to Kaduna, which was also the second largest tomato produced in Nigeria. We have traction. Bunkasa existing work. We partner with James 4 in 2015 during the UK DFID project. We introduced the plastic crate in Nigeria, and this plastic crate in Nigeria today reduce about 30% of waste in tomato, and we have adoption of over 50% at the moment for the Nigerian tomato farmers adopting the plastic crate. So Bunkasa have a linkage with the Malta international market and other wholesale markets for giving farmers a reliable access to markets. We also have donor back-end programs like again Westinijan, Deliver Nigeria, IITA, and IFRI. We also have a data and expertise from the managing information system. So this is our business model for the proposed 100 kg for our tomato paste facility in Kano. The first one is the sachet tomato paste, sell to retail and the wholesaler. Number two, we have B2B sell to food processor and caterers. And number three, we have byproducts for livestock feed, which was used for cattle and cow supplements. We also have a distribution channels through the Malta in the southern part of Nigeria and Singa market, which was also the largest processed food market in Kano and other major market in Nigeria. And our pricing strategy is mass market affordability, that is producing the 70 gram sachet. This is our team. We see they're seasonal professional with over 10 years experience in food and agri-fish system. As my background, I'm also a software engineer, information technology, and AgriTech specialist. We also have Fatima Yusuf, Jimmy Talabi, and Abdulhamid Tijani, and other Mariam Jerma leading the value additions. Impact. This solution is going to reduce post-harvest loss by 45%, and 500 farmers will be integrated into the supply chain as a outgrower program. And we are going to provide 100 direct jobs and 500 indirect jobs. There is also inclusive massive impact of over 35% women farmers engaged. And the import substitution is going to be strengthening Nigerian food supply chain. And the climate smart. This will also by reducing methane from the decomposed waste.
Can you come to your ask now, please?
Okay, the ask is 1 million in blending finance, grant, conventional debt, and equity mix. We are going to use this fund for processing plant and equipment, cold chain and logistics, farmer training, and working capital. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mohammed. Thank you. To stay within the time, I would directly hand it over to the panel and just point out someone perhaps. Balaji, did you have any questions or comments to Mohammed's business proposition? I'm not sure if I lost him, perhaps. Balaji, are you there?
He's not. No, move on to the next panelist, please. He dropped out, I think, by mistake, by technical issue.
Okay, thank you. Could Barry or Rob, do you have questions to Mohammed, please?
I'm happy to jump in. Yeah. Thanks, Mohammed. That's very interesting. Having grown up in Zimbabwe and had a very large family food business there, I understand operating in African markets. Just a couple of questions around supply sourcing for your processing plant. Have you got agreements in place to actually source and access the input to the processing plant? And then similarly on the other side of the plant, do you have offtake arrangements in place already, or is that still to be developed out for your factory?
Okay, for the sourcing of the raw materials, we plan to engage 100 farmers to also plant on 100 hectares of tomato. This will give us a direct access to the raw materials that will be supplied to the company using our existing model of building aggregation, and also use of plastic crate for the packaging of the tomato, raw tomato, and supply into the facilities. Thank you.
And in terms of the offtake agreements, have you got buyers of the, I think you were saying you're a B2B mostly focused, right, rather than B2C? Yeah.
Yes, we already have some existing partnership with processors and retailers that also offtake a raw tomato from us. But in Nigeria, tomato is seasonality. So when it is out of season, so those retailers, those caterers and eateries, most times opt for an alternative using the tomato paste and also mixing it with raw tomato for their food productions. So we already have an existing agreement and an offtake from them.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Alexander or Shirley, do you have a comment or question to Mohammed?
I'm happy to feedback for a few minutes. Muhammad, very good presentation. I love the way you tackle food waste. I think that you look very well at the market. You found solution on both sides, the intakers and the outtakers, so very good on that. I love the way that you plan to do food waste in general. Us in DesertTech Ventures really look at all kinds of solutions. I admit that many of the solutions are more tech-wise, and yours is not very. But sometimes the technology doesn't have to be deep tech. The technology is to find the right market and to find the right pain points and to look at them and to solve them. So good work on that. I would love to learn more about your blended finance model. I think it's very smart to use that on this case. And if you had any traction on that, like how did you build around the blended model finance?
Okay, thank you.
Last thing, I'm sorry. The best thing that I saw in the presentation is, of course, the women empowerment. Good work on that.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. Because I'm an advocate of women empowerment, and for your questions, even though I came from the IT background, I studied at the British Computer Society, but I understand that as a local man who was raised around a market with a local farmers and traders, I understand the role of technology that is going to play. It's not going to solve our problem, but to help complement our own solutions. So what we do is that all those farmers that we have we arrange them into a cluster, and we assign a lead farmer in charge of passing information. And that lead farmer must be educated, must be a conversant like with how to use a mobile phone. So the existing Bunkasa strategy is collecting prices, information, and market linkage, distribute to the lead farmers, and lead farmers distribute the information to their own farmers in a cluster. And through that clustering, we coordinate, those lead farmers coordinate the harvest of a produce, and also through our logistic experts in Bunkasa, they also do a coordination of a logistics on how a truck can come to the farms, pick up some items, and also move to the market. And that models require us, if in case a truck is going to market A, and then suddenly there's a price change in market B. If market B the price is higher than market A, our own logistics coordinators will redirect that driver to take that particular farmer's produce into the market B. And our plastic crates, despite the fact realizing that farmers do not have money. Hello? Okay. Despite the fact that farmers does not have money to acquire plastic crate to transport their tomatoes to the market, we acquire the plastic crate and give it to them as a rented prices. And we appoint some women, because in the northern part of Nigeria, where we rent the crates to the farmers, due to the tradition of on how women cannot move to most of the places. So we decided to allow them to be given that plastic crates at a rented fee to the farmers. And we have an agent in all the markets that farmers transport that tomato. So when the tomato reach those markets, after selling the tomato, our agent will pick up those crates, and then our logistic coordinator will return the empty crates to the farms, where farmers will be able to rent it again. And recently we decided that there's another huge gap of tomato face in Nigeria because we are still importing. And then those companies that are processing tomato, most of them are importing starch because they don't have a strong, relationship with farmers, and also how to coordinate those farmers to supply them the tomato. And most of the companies, some of them are not listening to solve a local problem. So they were comfortable in importing that starch and repackaging as tomato paste. And that's why we see, okay, there's another opportunity since we already have an existing relationship with farmers, transported aggregation, association, and also the most important, the market. We can also, started this facility to also aggregate our existing farmers to produce an organic, tomato paste in Nigeria, which is going to, reduce waste and also reduce the dependence on the importation of tomato paste. Because I saw many households that wanted to buy tomato paste when we are out of season. Like I mentioned, tomato.
Thank you, Mohammed.
Sorry, thank you.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you there, but thank you so much, Barry and Shirley, for your input. As this was not such a startup tech proposition, but I think still a very nice business case to be pitched here and also receive feedback from. To be conscious of time, we're moving on to the last but not least startup pitch of today's pitch lounge event, which is with Simon from New Wave Bio. And thank you so much again, Mohammed, for your presentation and your pitch today. And thank you for your Barry and Shirley for your inputs.
You're welcome.
Simon, the floor is yours.
All right. So we're going from Northern Hemisphere to Southern Hemisphere. We're in Australia now. So just let me share that screen. Oh.
Yeah, everyone's muted now apart from you, Simon, when you're...
Everyone can see that?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Excellent, good. So New Wave Biotech is all about trying to help farmers and growers of food and fiber rebalance how they use conventional synthetic chemistries and introduce more biology and bio-based options into their production systems. So I'm just, okay. So what we figured out through some trial and error over the last 3 years is you can't just put biology into the soil and leave it at that. I mean, that helps, but putting biology into the soil and then helping plants operate above ground as well so that they can take in extra sunshine and extra carbon dioxide is the way to go. So you supercharge what's happening under the ground and help the plant do just as well above ground. And by doing that, we can actually get quite an uplift in how plants produce either commodity crops, hay, grain, vegetables, all the rest of it. So can you see my cursor up here? So blues and greens are good, yellows and reds not so much. Where we put our two biological or bio-based options on crops, in a broadacre sense, we get a really good uplift in yields. The really important part, and I know there's been some discussion through the various presentations around not putting too much of an emphasis on sequestering carbon, but what we can do is help producers keep doing what they love to do, which is grow food and fiber, but also bank carbon into soil profiles in a way that's quite persistent. not the sort of carbon that just gets blown apart and then ends up in the atmosphere again. So our two products, which are a mixture of mycorrhizal fungi and a plant biostimulant, can actually help plants bank carbon into the soil profile while we're helping those plants actually grow more of their biomass and increase the yields that growers take off their properties at the end of the year. The really nice thing is it's not just broadacre. We're seeing the same results in the sorts of yummy stuff that people like to eat. So berries, we can increase the Brix levels in berries by about 20%. So blueberries and your strawberries taste nicer, and we can help garlic producers and onion producers grow more of what they're trying to get out of their soils at the end of each growing season. So we're seeing increases in Brix levels in garlic, for example, of about 20% as well. Well, when we take that same technology, our two flagship products used in conjunction, we actually see reductions in growing cycle times for whole head lettuces. We see reductions in growing times for hydroponically grown lettuces and basil, which was a little bit of a surprise to us because we didn't necessarily think that adding biology into a perfect growing system in a hydroponic operation would necessarily give them the benefits that they have seen. But biology plus chemistry in a perfect growing system in a hydroponic space actually works out pretty well. This is a date grower that had some terrible genetics. The bank was about to foreclose on this chap, and he started using our products, and 3 years in, he's now safe and he's getting the best crops he's ever grown. So, my heart reaches out to this chap. He's a pretty special fellow, but adding biology helps. Not sure where that music came from.
Your time is running out, so if you take a bit longer,
okay.
we'll just deduct it from the Q&A. So just get to that.
Yep, our partnerships in Australia and overseas look pretty impressive, given that we've only been operating for about 2.5 years. We've been part of 2 international accelerator programs, SVG Thrive, based out of San Francisco, and Plug and Play, based out of Chicago. And our ask is really about helping us scale opportunities with large growing enterprises, particularly overseas, in licensing opportunities for bio-based solutions so that we can bring products from overseas back to Australia because we understand the regulatory requirements here, and strategic investors potentially for a seed round in mid-2026.
Thank you, Simon. I'd love to, on that ask, actually hand over to Rob for comments and questions.
Thank you. I'm very passionate about this area. Well done, Simon. And also, it looks like you've achieved a lot in the time you've had, and the partners that you have lined up are very, very credible. I'm sure I could help you. I work in the produce sector a lot, so maybe let's catch up after this. Your trials for your claims, how big were they? Because we probably both know that Brix levels can vary for lots of reasons, and they aren't always consistently. It's possible that there's other reasons. So, how big were those BRICS trials by way of, and who did them? Were they independently done?
They were independently done. So the BRICS levels in the garlic was from an organic producer. So he didn't use any synthetic chemistries. He wasn't allowed to, just used our products. That was probably, I'm just trying to think, would have been about, do you talk in hectares or acres?
In England, we can do both.
Right. It would have been about 25 acres.
Wow.
And in the berry producer, the blueberry producer, that would have been about 6 acres.
Okay. Exciting. Looks great. Lots of questions, but I think let other people ask. Yeah.
Yeah, so just diving into I think Tia might have to sadly leave us. Is that right, Tia? We've run over a bit. And
Yes,
is your
I'm
collection
I'm
done
really
sooner?
sorry. I need to head off, so I'll hand over to Jamal. But Barry, if you have some questions, and Simon, I'd love to connect further as well into some of the other startups today. It was a pleasure to be here. I'm really sorry, but I need to
And you
run.
too,
Thanks, Tia.
Tia.
We just got 5 minutes left, so we're gonna move to
Yeah, I mean,
summary and
super quickly,
networking. Go on,
yeah,
Barry, you gotta leave as well.
yeah, no, I'm just a bit conflicted. I'm actually chairman of New Wave, so
Oh yeah. Do you want to
but
let
just,
do you want to let Alexandra go first if that's the case? Because I know that you obviously in
yeah,
touch
that's
with
fine. I just
Simon a
want
lot.
to make one comment, which I think is important because this whole biologics versus ag chemicals have been discussed a few times. What we're actually finding is that it takes a couple of seasons of actually applying biologics to soil that has been heavily treated with chemicals, to start almost breaking down that negative effect of the chemicals over many years. So, that's just a practical thing when you're out there actually trying to take out chemicals from the process. I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thanks, Barry. Over to Alexandra, please, for your question or comments. Thanks.
Oh, I didn't have any. I don't know if it was Shirley. But now that I'm at it, Simon, thank you so much for it was really clear pitch, very easy to understand. I'm very curious to, what you're on to next. Maybe just now that I'm at it, what stage are your products at? Are they registered already and approved for commercial sales, or where are you at now in terms of timing?
Yeah, I was squeezed for time. So we're already making sales to growers. 100% of the people that have trialed our products have become customers for the company. So we have sold about $50,000 worth of Australian product back to growers in the last financial year in May and June. Australia has about 380 million acres of land that is used for broadacre farming. So that's going to amount, if we get 100,000 hectares of that, then we're looking at about $500,000 to 600,000 Australian dollars next year. I'm not expecting to get that in the United States anytime soon, but we're creating a beachhead back here in Australia, and we're reaching out from broadacre into horticulture and into hydroponics in Australia, and we're talking with horticultural businesses and hydroponic businesses in America at the moment that want to use the combination of our products. I think there's a lot of companies that are offering biological products, one or two, but I think what they're missing is putting bio-based options together and then understanding how you can incorporate biologicals or bio-based options within conventional farming systems. That's the key. That's what's going to make a real difference. when you know when to use biologicals, when not to use biologicals, what to use biologicals with, and not what to use biologicals with chemistries is turning out to be quite a puzzle, but interesting all the same.
Indeed. Thanks, Simon.
Thanks for that response, Simon. And over to you, Shirley.
Thank you, Simon. Very interesting. I love everything that is connected with regenerative ag. We have the sector within ourselves, so congratulations on that. I also am aware of the work that of Macrosia. You probably know Groundwork. They're quite a mature startup, I think, after
I do.
doing a very good job. I suggest to follow up on them because they are doing good job both on the technology but also on the market side. So and the market penetration. So I think good path there. Also happy to learn more. We are quite connected to some of the major players in Abu Dhabi, UAE, and the MENA region. So let's connect after the meet up here, and I'll try to support with distributing.
That sounds great, Shirley.
Good luck.
Wonderful. Nice to hear about offers for follow-ups, and hope these new connections come from this event. Very exciting. Is there do we have any other response from the panel? I think we've sadly lost Balaji and Emmanuel due to technical issues. And I think we just had those three panelists who were still with us, or four panelists, sorry, Barry, Rob, Shirley, and then Alessandra have all gone, right? So, Rob, so sorry. Back to Rob.
Yeah, Barry's here as well.
Quick to Rob. Please, Pavan, you stop sharing the screen and just put up Rob and Simon, please. But make it quick if you can, Rob, because we're just running over time now. Thanks.
No, I've got nothing to add to that. But other than to thank you for organizing.
Okay.
Well done.
Yeah.
Great
Thanks. Cheers, both. Sorry, back up with the screen. Sorry, Pavan, I misunderstood that. So yeah, just for the wrap up now of the event, and we're going to move to breakout rooms. So we're just going to quickly wrap up and explain who was involved in the event for those who weren't here for the whole time. So we had 7 startups in total presenting today. We had a concept pitch from Aitan Viga from Tree Hugger. We had our first investor pitch from Medini Zied from Greeny Solutions. Second pitch from Peter Hegedus from Meta Green Deep Tech. Third, we had Gilad Yarkoni from Platypus. Fourth, we have Altan Tyrell from Beaver Nexus. Fifth, we have Mohammed Yakubu Bubayaro presenting from CASA. And then lastly, we just had then Simon Humphries from New Wave Biotech. I'm sorry if I absolutely butchered your names then. I'm really sorry. I'm just pasting the all of the companies again in the chat, just so you have quick access. These are all clickable links straight to YouTube, by the way. So you can connect with them as founders, but also check out their companies. So that's just coming into the chat now. No, it's still too long, so apologies. Try that again. Sorry, a little glitchy. There we go. And last, yeah, and big thanks to our amazing panelists. So, of course, we had Rob, who's still on screen at the moment. We also had Shirley. Thank you, Alessandra, Balaji, and Emmanuel, and also Barry. So yeah, we have Barry joining us for the first time from Australia, which is really exciting. We want to do more events like this, Barry, suitable for the Australian ASEAN time zone. We've been constantly being told well, I've been told for the last 5 years, why are you doing it? Yeah, and so it'd be good if we can definitely do more of these, and with your help, it'd be good to do that. And also Emmanuel, great to have. I know he's not with us anymore, but it was good to have him for the first time. Sadly, he had an impromptu train journey during the call, so it was not ideal. But he's fantastic in terms of debt financing and rural development in India, working for Caspian Investments. So if you need any connections to that region, he's your go-to person. Thanks to all the panelists for joining. And now quick little announcements before we move to the breakout. So upcoming events, we've got the Food Tech Pitch Lounge coming up next Wednesday, the LATAM edition. It's the first time we're going to be focusing on the Latin America, both the Caribbean and also South America. And so that will be great if we've already got a panel involved in that event. We've got our 6 panelists again. And we've got some fantastic partners, lots of members also representing Climate Hack and Food Hack and Solvable Syndicate for the first time. So join us then if you like what you saw today and you have relevant. We're also accepting AgTech in that. So quite a broad school when it comes to food tech. Just have to have some link to Latin America. So either based there, trading with, innovating there, some of their team are based there, or at least actively looking to trade and expand to Latin America, then happy to be introduced to those startups and give them some exposure, support, and connection to investors as you saw today. Yeah. And obviously next we have the Food Security Summit, which I mentioned earlier in the event. So we have the 17th, 18th of September. We had at least 4 people in the call today, actually 5 people who were involved in that last year. So that was, Rob, Taya, Shirley, me, Shubham, and Sasha, who's not here today. We were all involved last year actively on the ground in Dubai. Hopefully we'll be coming together again. And if you want to join us there, please check out the website I've just pasted in the chat and reach out and let's see how we can make that happen. We got that's September. We're going to take a very MENA themed month. We're going to have a halal drinks edition at the beginning of the month. Then we're going to have various networking events in hospitality and other themes in person in Dubai. And then we're going to have a hybrid pitch event in an evening at some point, probably during the week or after or before the Food Security Summit. But the initial Foodpreneur Collective Halal edition will be our regular online feedback coaching support session. So that will be online and accessible for anyone. And then even the hybrid edition at the end of the month often is quite inclusive. We've had UK coffee brands working with Africa and the Middle East pitching online to an audience in Dubai. So reach out to us if you're interested in our Dubai event program. And if you're not already on our mailing list, then do join, because we are due to send out a newsletter in the coming days. And you can check out the back catalog on our website at pitchlounge.net/newsletter. And I think that nearly brings us to the end. But yeah, community pages, we've got various community pages, WhatsApp community that's run by the Foodpreneurs Collective. I think we will also make one of a certain type very soon. And we have various LinkedIn groups, which are very active. The Food and Beverage Pitch Events group now, 2,000 members, female founder group, 1,000 Minati is focused on the Middle East and India, as well as Turkey. We're getting more and more referrals from, it was great to have a Turkish startup today, so thank you. We get more and more referrals from Elif, our good friend Elif, who was also at the Food Security Summit, was on Gulf of Green last September, and we're hoping to get back at the Food Security Summit this September. She introduces us to a lot of Turkish startups in her accelerator investment network. If you want to be a panelist at our future events, we'd love to host new panelists. So if you've been in the audience thinking, oh, I could have given fantastic advice, or I'm an investor who wants to engage more actively with startups in a format like this, please reach out. Either email me, connect with me on LinkedIn, or fill out the short web form at pitchlounge.net/panelists. I think that brings us. I think there's always chances to partner with us as well in different ways. We often have investment companies, or we've had consultancies, or we've had professional service companies, partner on our events, and that really helps us to keep them inclusive, to allow early stage founders, young founders, women, and others who maybe who can't afford the packages and the costs of my quite large team pulling together these events, often with just 2-3 weeks notice. So please do consider partnering if you think this is something you want to see happening October onwards, because it's not necessarily a certain deal that I will continue doing this beyond October. Then moving on to breakout rooms. Thank you, everyone. A big thanks to obviously Teo again for stepping in and moderating today's event in the absence of my usual co-producer, Sasha, who's on holiday. And I'm now opening the breakout rooms. How these work is that you should be able to find breakout sessions on your command buttons, or if you can't, then click the 3 buttons on more, and then you'll see breakout rooms. And you'll be able to select which room you want to go into. If you can't work it out, just ask me. I'm going to stay in the main room, and I can put you in a room. The founders, I'll give you a few, probably about half a minute, and then we'll be putting you in the room so that someone's in there. Usually we get between 2, 3 to 6, 7, 8 people per room, depending on the level of interest. Panelists might not be able to stay on that long or at all because we've actually gone over time, so I can't promise that they will be in there. But please, if you presented today and you need help getting introductions to them, I can do that. And anyone else as well, just reach out to me and I can put you in touch with them. Thanks everyone. I'm now opening the rooms and turning off the live recording.